But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this Vandy Texas game. We'll start here. Vandy versus Texas at Austin. Um, you know, has what it needs to be a big game. You got the open was 2.5 Texas. Now it's 1.5 Texas. People are betting down. People are thinking Pavia is going to be able to go in there and he's going to be able to rumble, stumble, and do what he wants to do. RJ, what are the keys to the game, or not the keys to the game necessarily, but what do you think Texas needs to do, especially with Arch Manning being a question mark as of at the moment, since his concussion in the first overtime against Mississippi State? What do you think Texas is going to have to do on offense to be able to win this game?
Well, first I want to start off with Texas showed a lot of glimpses of potential at the last quarter of the Mississippi State game. But like you said, Arch Manning got hurt. Uh, One of the key things that Texas has to do is contain Diego Pavia. If you let
Mhm.
Diego Pavia do his thing out there and play his game, he's gonna run up the score on this Texas team. But I believe Texas defense can stay in this game with Diego Pavia and his offense.
If you have a backup quarterback, the big question is going to be like, how does he play? You got a Troy transfer quarterback coming in. Will the run game show up? Is that going to be able to help him? Because obviously, there's something about teams that have a backup quarterback come in, especially that have talent. It's like they almost kind of mold around him and they play. Like, look back last year with Georgia and Gunnar Stockton. You saw that Georgia team play as a unit for honestly what probably was the first time that whole season that you really were like, man, this Georgia team is united. So does that happen with Texas? The world may never know. Or maybe we will know Saturday. I think eliminating turnovers for Vandy as far as Diego Pavia's side of the ball on offense, the kid's a star. But you look back at the Bama game, he has 2 costly red zone turnovers that kind of made that game unreachable for them at the moment. But I would say staying on the field, being able to wear down this Texas defense because they are going to be good. They have depth. They're going to smack you in the face. It's just, can you convert those 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 4s, keep the drives moving, get into those positions, don't get yourself in 3rd and long. RJ, what do you think Pavia is going to have to do in this game to come out with a win?
Um, don't turn over the ball a lot. Like Bama game, the Bama contained Diego Pavia. It took away his leading target Eli Stowers. And if I'm not sure, man.
If Stovers is just not there, what can happen, right?
Yeah,
What can
yeah.
happen? I want to go ahead and get we got a special guest today for this game that we're going to be able to do our score predictions with. Um, he goes by the name of Port. Port, welcome to the live stream, man. First time on the show. What are you thinking?
I can't hear. Hold on.
Oh, you can't hear anybody. Pork, you may have to leave and rejoin. I don't know. Let me see if we can't get him back in there. In the meantime, RJ, I'll give my score prediction. I think Vandy's going to go and get it done in Austin. I think you're going to have a 31-28 game. They're not favored, so it would be considered an upset. But I think Vandy's going to go in there. They're a physical team. Diego Pavia is playing pretty well. Top 5 Heisman candidate on the year right now per the bookmakers odds. We'll see how they go. Let's see if we can get Port back in here real quick. Port,
Okay,
can you
I'm
hear us now?
good. I'm good.
You
I
can
can
hear
hear
us
you.
now. We're back
Yeah,
in here.
thank God.
Welcome for the first time on the podcast, Port. Let's
Oh,
get
yeah.
let's get RJ's prediction real quick on this game, and then we're going to let you just go ahead and give your prediction and what you think is going to happen. RJ,
Yeah,
what do you think the score is going to end up being?
I'm gonna go what you said about this game. I believe Diego Pavia goes in this game and does what he wants to do and wins this game for Vandy and Austin. I'm gonna go 27-20 Vandy.
27-20. Now, this is, none of our stuff mattered. That's the thing, is none of our predictions matter, especially when you got Pork at the helm. This kid's an operator. He's a game manager. Port, tell me what
Come
you're
on.
feeling.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be hard for Vandy to go into Austin and really be dominant. I mean, it's a hard place to play at, and it's nothing they're going to be used to. I mean, obviously, they
Mm.
beat Missouri at home last week. That's a good win at home. But even then, you saw them struggle a lot. And, Pavia has looked human these past few games. And I'm worried that Texas's defense might be a little much. But I still think Vandy squeaks it out, but it's just not as dominant as Vandy needs it to be.
Yeah. So, what are you thinking for a final score aspect?
I'm thinking 21-24. It's like a late field goal, and Vandy gets a good stop at the end of the game.
21-24. So all three of us just picked Vandy. So we just loaded the board with a bunch of V's. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of want to switch back to Texas now. That kind of scares me a little bit, but we'll see. I think Pavi's going to be able to get it done. I think this Vandy team is the real deal this year, and that's why later in the show, you'll see why I think that whenever we get to the playoff prediction side. Port, appreciate you joining us, man. We'll see you here in just a little while.
Yes,
RJ,
sir.
clap it up for Port, man. Oh man, moving on to the next game. All right, so I'm gonna take a pause right here because we're gonna have this as another YouTube video, right? 3, 2, 1, RJ. Miami versus SMU going to Dallas. Pate State's gonna be there, gonna be a pretty good game. I don't know if you know a whole lot about this Miami team, RJ, but I can tell you that Carson Beck is back there, and whenever he's playing good, he's playing great. This team looks like one of the best teams in the country, but when he's bad,
Yeah.
my goodness, is he terrible?
When that Georgia Bulldog starts coming out of him
Yeah.
when he
those flashbacks, a little bit of
Yeah.
PTSD from those Georgia days with Carson Beck, especially that last year. I think a big thing for Miami, especially with the offensive side of the ball, is just being able to get the running backs involved out of the backfield of the passing game to make a difference against this SMU defense. Keeping drives alive, keeping this, pass rush for Miami well rested. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things in the game. Miami opens up as a 10.5 point favorite. Now they're a 12.5. People are liking the Miami side. I think that's going to be a pretty heavy pick. And I think it's going to continue to go up. RJ, what are you thinking as far as this Miami offense? I know we've talked a lot about the defense this year, but what do you think about this Miami offense against SMU?
Carson Beck cannot turn the ball over. He can. If Carson Beck turns the ball over 2 times this game, I feel like SMU will come out with the dub.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe he will do that against SMU. I feel like he'll play a really good. I feel like he'll have a career game against this SMU team, and he'll get the dub in this game.
A little bit of a hot take there. Yeah. I respect it. SMU's defense has not been amazing by any means. Like we look at like a matchup predictor wise, SMU against the pass is 46 in the country. SMU defense against the run is number 4, so it's not a bad squad by any means. But who have they played? Not a team like Miami. Mark Fletcher's a dog. Miami's defense, man, you got Ruben Bain. He's going to be one of the best edge rushers in this draft. Kid is just about unstoppable. You're talking about like him on a level with guys like Dylan Stewart. There's just kind of this upper echelon of people that come off the edge, and he's one of them. I think as far as, Kevin Jennings is going to look to create explosives to beat this Miami team, and it's just going to be a matter of the fact of containing them and keeping them in front of you. Is that going to happen? You got to hope so if you're Miami, if you want to avoid the upset. RJ, what are you thinking?
This Miami defense has shocked me this year. I thought me and you thought their secondary is going to be awful.
Yeah.
And they came out to play this year. And I'm going to go Miami this game. I'm going to go 35-14 Miami.
So I just want to clarify this before I say my score prediction. We did not talk about scores before the podcast. I have my score as 34-17. Miami SMU. So I think that's pretty good. Close as well. We're right there beside each other. 35-14. You said it. What do you think is going to be the biggest difference? Do you think it's going to be the defensive side of the ball with the pass rush, or what are you thinking? Carson Beck. I know you said he's going to have a historic day. Is he the real deal in this game?
I feel like depth would be a big difference in this game.
Yeah,
honestly. And if Miami could take Jennings' legs away, I feel like Miami have a dominant game. Honestly.
Yeah. So, like I said, in this live show, we're going to have a couple pauses here because we are going to be recording several different games at the same time. So that leads us to the next point: is Ohio State and Penn State. This game in preseason, you tell me week 10, you got Ohio State, Penn State. I'm like, oh my goodness, playoff complications. This is going to be the real deal. This is going to be a great game. And now James Franklin gets fired. Drew Aller's out with a season-ending injury. What could have been is no longer there. And I want to say this game is at a 20. I don't have it actually wrote down, but I want to say this is a 20-point favorite for Ohio State, which is really, really crazy to think about because let me give you a scenario of what they think about the SEC versus what they think about out of conference play that's not the SEC. Georgia, Florida, I want to say is a 12-point. Georgia's a 12-point favorite right now against Florida. Okay. Ohio State is a 20-something point favorite against Penn State. And they both have same coaching problems. They both have that working against them. So what does that say for, the other conferences that aren't the SEC? I thought that was pretty, crazy to think about how I think a Florida team doesn't have near the talent that Penn State roster probably has once you get to digging deep into it. I'll go ahead and give this one's going to be quick and choppy. We don't really have a lot on this game. We planned this ahead of time, and things happen in the season where it keeps you from being able to completely break them down. But I got Ohio State 35, Penn State 14. I think Ohio State's going to be able to get it done. I think Julian Satan's going to have a good day.
Yeah, hear me out. I feel like Penn State will give Ohio State a rough first half. Penn State may be leading, or it may be a tie game in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a 14-14 or a 14-10 first half. But then this is where depth takes over in the second half for Ohio State. I feel like Ohio State would take this game and win 35-14 or maybe 17, 35-17, 35-14 in that area. But yeah.
So you just took my score prediction is what I'm hearing. You just straight up took my score prediction. It's okay though. It's okay. If you want to take 35-14, man, we'll both sit on 35-14 and we'll both go down together whenever Penn State gets this crazy upset against Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
No, let's be for